Hey, this video is going to show you how to balance the DJI Ronin S gimbal with your camera and lens. So if you're waiting on this camera or if you already have it, this is the video to watch to make sure you balance it properly the first time and not have to fool with it over and over again. Coming up. Hey, I'm Luke with Wedding Film Coach, and thanks so much for stopping by the channel. Wedding Film Coach is all about helping beginners get started with video, and of course in this video today we are showing you how to balance the DJI Ronin S single-handed gimbal. And as you can tell, we're outside right now. I apologize for probably some of the background noise that the mics are picking up. My two beautiful daughters are sleeping right now. They're taking a nap, but this thing just came, and so I wanted to get a few videos produced to help my audience, to help you all that are wanting to know how to use this and get using it as soon as possible. So thanks for your patience. Hey, without further ado, let's get to balancing this gimbal. Be sure to check out your manual when you first get your gimbal, and that's going to show you exactly what all these little accessories are, what parts they go to, so you don't get confused. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out, because this is the thing, this is the part we need to attach our camera to our gimbal base plate. So let's get started with that. And you want to make sure that you orient the base plate in the correct direction. There's a little arrow just on the front of the base plate. There's also an arrow that is on the base of this gimbal mount, of the base plate mount right here. So just make sure that those align in the same direction and you should be good. There's a big opening spot right here for your attachment screw to go through. Down at the very bottom of that is where you want to put it in, and then once you screw it all the way in through that bigger slot, you can slide it up and down and get your camera on the correct placement of this base plate. And so it's pretty long, which I like. Some of the other gimbals come with shorter base plates, and so this is going to be very helpful whenever you're shooting with longer lenses and you need to play around with that, where that weight distribution is. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm not going to get this on here too tight right now, but you definitely want to make sure you use a quarter or a key or something. Get this base plate on really tight before you go out and start slinging this thing around. Now once we have your base plate on your camera, we simply, again, make sure you align the arrows to make sure they're on the same spot, and just press that little safety. Press that safety button again, slide it in. This is going to be loose until you lock that locking mechanism. And so I'm going to go ahead and lock it right now. There we go. And so I know my camera is on there safe. Obviously it's not balanced, but it is locked in there right now. So that's good. So let's get to balancing. So the first direction you want to balance this camera is actually forwards to backwards, and then you're going to turn it up on its head like this, and you're going to balance this part right here where it kind of is the vertical balance, and then you'll balance your horizontal axis, and then you'll actually balance this axis right here by turning it on its side. And I'm actually going to pull the camera in to really focus in on what I'm doing, and so you won't see my face anymore, but I'm just going to focus in on how to balance this real quick and walk you through it step by step. And I'll definitely ask questions in the comments if I flew by something too quick, or if I said something that didn't match up with what I was doing. That's definitely something I've done before. Ask a question, call me out on it, and I'll be glad to help you out. Let's go. Okay, so like I said, the first direction we want to balance this is kind of forwards and backwards. So I'm going to do it like this for your benefit so you can see. So I'm balancing this way. I'm going to hold this arm still. As you can see, I'm a little bit balanced too far backwards, so I'm going to slide this ever so slightly to the front. Hey, that looks pretty good. So let's move on to balancing this way. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way so hopefully you can see it a little bit better, but simply turn this thing to loosen it up, and then I'm going to slide this up so that the weight is distributed evenly over this joint. This is a lighter camera, and it looks like this gimbal kind of favors heavier cameras. It's definitely designed to hold them. And so I had to actually go all the way to the bottom of this joint right here. You can see that. If I had a microphone or a monitor or anything else to give this some more weight, I would be able to balance it more with a little bit more slack down at the bottom. But for now, it looks like this is going to work. So I'm going to screw this back in. And what we're going to do, once we have that balanced, see how it's not going one way or another? Okay, once we have that balanced, I'm going to come back to this forwards and backwards and balance that one more time, because what I've done is I've taken it a little bit out of balance by balancing this. So at this point, you should be able to spin it any way on this axis, and it should be perfectly balanced all the way around, so it doesn't go sideways, up and down, or forward this way. Okay, so that looks like it's balanced right there. Next, we have to balance from side to side. And so as you can see now, it is dramatically going over to the left, to my left, to your right. And so I'm going to bring more of the weight this way. How I do that is by loosening this piece right here, and that's going to allow me to shift this weight that way so it doesn't fall to the left now. So I'm going to loosen this up, just gently push that over. I know I have plenty of room. Okay, so there we go. So that's a start. Looks pretty good. And sometimes you just got to fine tune it. And as you do this more and more, you're going to get used to this, and it is not going to be a hassle. Let me lock that in place, and you can see. Okay, again, you can tilt this any way once it's balanced properly, and it shouldn't swing back and forth. So that side is good and balanced, and it feels really good too. Okay, the next part we have to balance is this joint right here. And so you can see how you test this is you tilt it one way or another. And so as I tilt it over, you can see it very quickly falls forward first, falls this way. And so I need to bring more of that weight back to distribute it evenly. I got it tilting this way, and it's not going this way, it's not going backwards, so that means the weight here and the weight here is evenly distributed. So it should be balanced all the way around, meaning wherever I put it, it's going to stay there, it's not going to swing back and forth. All right. So this has been a balancing video for the DJI Ronin S. I hope it's been helpful to you. If I flew through anything too fast, or you still have questions about anything, let me know in the comments below. I keep an eye on those, and I try to answer every single one. Let me know what you do as well. What kind of work do you do? Of course, I do wedding filmmaking. That's what I love. But a lot of people use these for commercial filmmaking, for nonprofit work. There's so many different applications to these amazing pieces of gear, and so I'm excited to use this. The first thing I'm doing when I get inside the house is I'm charging up this battery, and whenever it's charged up, I'm going to get the app out, look at that. I'll be putting out new videos on how to use the app with this. One, to calibrate it, to tune it, but then also to use some of those smart functions that DJI has included in their software and in this hardware. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. Again, let me know if you have any questions below. If you haven't already ordered your DJI Ronin S, but you're just kind of interested in it and you came by this video, if you think you want to buy it, there's a link in the description that'll take you straight to the purchasing page at DJI's website. Click on that if you don't mind. That helps me out just a little bit. It's no extra cost to you, and then this thing will be on its way, and you can watch these videos again to refresh your memory on how to assemble it, how to balance it, and how to use the apps with it. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm Luke. Have a great day.